Did you know that the gut affects everything in our body? And research now has shown that the gut, there's a connection between the gut and chronic diseases. And so now that we know that there's that connection, what can we do so that we can prevent these chronic diseases? If we know that there is that connection and all diseases originate from the gut. So in today's video, we want to look at this connection. What is gut health? And what does a healthy gut really mean? And what can we do to ensure, 5 things can we do to ensure that we have a healthy gut? So hi, my name is Emily. I'm a health and life coach. I empower women to live a healthier, balanced, and fulfilled life. So welcome. So in today's video, we are going to look at gut health and why it matters. So when we talk about gut health, it's not just that intestines and the colon and the rectum. We are looking at the tube from the mouth to the rectum to the anus. So that whole system is our gut. And the gut's function is to ensure that the food that we eat is digested, absorbed, and then eliminated. So any toxic waste will need to be eliminated. And that's the function of the gut. And why does it matter? Because if the gut is not working properly, you will have issues with weight management, you'll have issues with aches and pains, joint pains, you'll have brain fog, and then you'll also be having issues with complaints about constipation. So it is affecting all the systems in your body. So all the complaints you may incur would be originating from what is happening in your gut. And now that we know how important that is, because even if you're having low energy, then there's something that is going on because that food is not being digested properly and absorbed so that now you can do what? You can get that energy from the food that you've eaten. So that tells us that there's an issue with the gut. And so now that we know there's that connection between our overall well-being and even our mental health, because now there's also a connection from, what also research has shown, that there's a connection between the gut and your brain. And gut simply means anytime you're having these moods, you are, irritable, you are, sad or happy, it's all originating from what is happening in the gut. So your overall well-being and your mental health is all connected to your gut health. That's why it matters, and that's why it is important for us to look at how is our gut functioning. Is it working properly, or are there issues? And then now the second point is, what does having a healthy gut mean? So for us to understand what a healthy gut really means, we would look at, if the gut is not healthy, what issues are you experiencing? Constipation? Because ideally, we need to be opening or having bowel movement daily. So if you're not doing that, if it's once a week or every after 2 days or 3 days, then you're constipated. So it's good for you now to look at what is really happening in your gut. So there will be constipation, there will be bloating, there will be a lot of gas, there's indigestion, there's reflux, there's too much acid. That's all coming to your gut not functioning properly. So for a healthy gut, you'll realize that you will not have any of these complaints, and how you'll be feeling in your body is also, you'll feel really good in your body because there's no complaints. I'm not having aches and pains, and I can even manage weight. Because if you're having issues with weight management, then it's also an issue of what is happening in your gut. So that's how it means to have a healthy gut, where you're feeling good in your body and you have no or less or none of those complaints that I've mentioned. So the third thing that we would do is looking at those 5 things that we can do. Yes, there's more that we can do, but in this video, I'm just talking about the 5 things that you can start doing to ensure that your gut is healthy, and then you can see whether there will be any improvement in your overall well-being. So first thing is eating a variety of fruits and vegetables. So research recommends 30 different plants. And I know that is something that someone who is trying to survive would be thinking, really? 30? And we are just trying to survive in this economy? I get you. I really understand that is really not possible for you at this point. So you can eat to survive, because you have to eat whatever you can manage, so to survive. But then you'll realize that if you're having issues with your gut or any complaint that I've mentioned, then you'll be able to connect that to your gut, and then just start introducing maybe a vegetable, a fruit, whenever you are able. And those that can afford, ensuring that you can have different fruits and vegetables in a week, 30 of them. Second point would be increasing fiber, because fiber, like we've said, we have these bacteria in our colon. We have the good bacteria, and we also have the opportunistic bacteria, and they all play a part. So the good bacteria, they digest the food so that the food can be absorbed and can be assimilated in the body. And the opportunistic ones they also have a function where they have to feed on this fiber and the chemicals that are produced that our body needs. So we find that the bacteria that live in our colon, they have a function. So if you find, for example, that you're craving so much of the sugary things, it is those bacteria, the opportunistic ones, which for now I use the word bad ones, but they're not bad because they need to be balanced. They'll be asking for more sugar. So what we do is we ensure that we are feeding more of the good ones so that they can ensure that we have a better well-being. So increase fiber so that these bacteria can be happy. But if they're not happy, they're going to let you know for sure. They will let you know that we are not happy, and you will know with how you're feeling in your body. So, and adding on that, that's how we increase also fermented food, things like yogurt, the maziwa malas. That helps to feed the good bacteria, so that when the good bacteria are more happier, then we are also feeling good in our body. So we are feeding that. So it's just to remember, anytime you're having issues in your gut, and you're having a meal, think about, what are you feeding? Are you feeding the bad ones? Are you feeding the good bacteria? Because when you're feeding the good bacteria with things like fiber, fermented food, you'll end up feeling better. But if you're feeding with maybe sugary things more, it is the opportunistic ones, and so they will also be showing you that, okay, we are happy, we want more of that, and that's how you end up with those cravings. And then the fourth thing that you can do is to reduce those processed foods, because when you eat more of the processed food, we are damaging the good ones, those good ones that we've said we need the good ones to work for us so that we can feel better. So it is to limit or not have any of those processed foods, so that we want the good bacteria to thrive, and so we can feel better. And then the fifth one, which is huge, is stress. Is trying to manage our stress levels, because I've been there. Working as a nurse was stressful. So with that stress, it's only after I stopped that I realized that this stress had impacted my gut, and it had affected my immune system. It had affected everything, hormones. It had affected my brain health, because you see there's a connection between the gut and the brain. So when I was having this brain fog, always tired, all that, I only thought of I'm just managing maybe the stress. But now I've been digging into more of research, and I've realized how that really impacted me, because had I looked at what was happening in my gut, then I could have been able to see the connection, because I went to the doctor for some blood work, and it showed my immune system was really low, very, very low. And the doctor just wanted me to go and do more tests and more tests. So I did more research myself, and when I found that there was that connection, I started managing the stress. And then after managing my stress, just through meditation and breath work, then now I started looking at what was happening in my gut. What was I going to change? What was I eating? So with all those changes, my health has improved. So let me know in the comment section if there's any issues that you are experiencing that could be connected to the gut, and what is it that you are doing to manage it. So with gut health, just as I finish my last point, we look at that, because what we are aiming for is disease prevention and longevity. So with that, we need to look at our gut microbiome, and microbiome are those microorganisms that I've said that they live in our gut, and they have to be balanced, and we have to be feeding them so that we can feel, because now there's a connection between those microorganisms and our gut health. If they are not healthy, then we are also not going to have a healthy gut. So with those microbiome, which are microorganisms, the bacteria, viruses, and the fungi, we feed them with the nutrition, knowing what can we be feeding them, our diet. What do we want to feed those microorganisms so that we can still feel better in our gut. So once we've done that with our nutrition, then we can have improved our gut health, and then we prevent diseases, and then we can live longer. So let me know what you think in the comment section. And I'm doing a series on gut health, so my next video will also still be on gut health and how it is impacting sleep. I'll see you next in my next video.